Hello, hello, and surprise. I know. So, for those of you that don't know, this is the Craze to Calm show, and I'm the host, Karen Del Maestro. And ordinarily, I go live with our show on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Well, wouldn't you know it? We didn't have internet. In fact, we were told it was coming back at 7 p.m. and it was actually restored closer to 10 p.m. So, one of those instances where something's out of our control and we got to learn how to be calm, right? Let go of the things that we can't control. Easier said than done, I know. But it's kind of what this show is all about, right? How to go from that crazy, mind racing, stressed out kind of mind, spinning, anxious, to calm, no matter what's going on in your life. Really important, no matter what's going on in your life, right? As I always say, the waves of life will keep crashing against the shore. It's our ability to learn how to surf that makes the difference. I am the coach that teaches you how to surf. I am the coach that shows you how to be calm and peaceful when life feels chaotic. And I've had lots of experience at it. And yesterday was just one of those days. So I wanted to pop in today and share the episode that I was going to be doing with you guys because it is such a big topic. And it's something that for the past 20 years that I've heard as I've worked in health and wellness. It's just something I've heard over and over and over. So I want to kind of dispel this myth for you today, which is that when it comes to your health, it's all or nothing, right? And what I mean by that is ask yourself, do you tend to be somebody that's either on track or off track? It could be with your healthy eating habits. It could be with going to the gym. It could be with managing stress like I had to do yesterday, or meditation, or any habit that you know improves your health. Do you find that you're either on track or off track? Just do a mental check-in without judgment, right? I'm asking you to be curious and observe, because I want you to know that if that sounds like you, then you would not be alone. So I said, after 20 plus years of working in health and wellness, primarily with women, first as a personal trainer and now as a health transformation and calmness coach, it's a habit that I see so frequently. Now, it's something that I call the diet mentality, right? If you think about it, it's either you're on a diet or you're off a diet. And I think that's something that most of us can relate to. But the problem is that when we're off track, our negative self-talk, I call her negative Nancy, with no disrespect to anybody called Nancy, but I like to name her, right? It makes it easier somehow for me to recognize her when she pops in. So, but negative Nancy tends to work overtime in our heads when we're off track, right? We're taking care of everybody else. We're making sure that everybody else has everything that they need. And she pops in and she's saying things like, you should be eating better. You should be going to the gym. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. You know, if you want to reduce your risk of getting sick again, these are things you ought to be doing, right? And it leads to more and more fear, more and more feeling down, and that we're not good enough, and that we're not doing what we ought to be doing, which makes us beat up on ourselves even more. It's a vicious, vicious circle. So in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you why diets and the diet mentality of all or nothing doesn't work. I've got proof. Okay, I've got statistics that are going to prove that. So what does that mean? That means as of this moment, I give you permission to never diet again. How would that feel? Amazing, right? The second thing I'm going to be talking about is why this all or nothing does not work when it comes to your healthy habits. Okay, it just doesn't work. And of course, because I never like to leave you hanging, I'm going to be sharing what to try instead. Okay, always important for you to hear what to try instead. So let's kick off with why diets and the diet mentality of all or nothing doesn't work. There is that feeling when you're on a diet of feeling deprived, right? And maybe you are feeling that all you want is chocolate. Or for me, that would be potato chips, right? Because that's my go-to. But you've got this longing and that you're telling yourself that you can't have. And as soon as we tell ourselves that we can't have something, what do we want? The thing we're telling ourselves that we can't have. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's bread or potato chips or ice cream or chocolate or oranges. Doesn't matter. As soon as you tell yourself you can't have, it's what we want. Okay. Now, the other thing with diets and why they don't work, there's actually this overwhelming statistic. And I really invite you to observe your own behavior in this, not judge, right? Because that's Nancy coming in big time. Observe. There's a statistic that 98%, 98 of women who go on a diet will lose weight, but they will gain that weight back and more within 2 years. Okay, 98%. So if that is you, I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you, that you're not doing it wrong. It's the mindset of all or nothing. That black and white mindset doesn't work. The good thing is you can learn to think differently. We can change our thoughts. We can change our thoughts. That's the great news here. Whenever you choose to, you get to change your thoughts. So I think it's fair to say that if 98% of women lose weight, gain it back within 2 years and more weight, to me that says that diets don't work. And perhaps you can relate to that happening to you. Again, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that we have been led as a society to think that diets are the right way. They're not. Trust me, for 20 years, I have seen over and over again that they don't work. But there is a different way of doing everything in life, right? So recognize, and let me know in the chat if you want to, are you an all or nothing kind of person? Drop a 1. Let me know, right? So let's talk about why that all or nothing mentality doesn't work when it comes to any kind of healthy habits, right? Think about if you have a ladder, right? And at the top of that ladder is where you want to get to. Let's say you want to be consistent with healthy habits. Notice I say consistent instead of on track or off track. There's a difference. There's a difference. Consistency does not necessarily mean every day. It does not mean all or nothing. It means consistent. And so you've got this ladder, and on this ladder are 3 big rungs, and you're at the bottom of the ladder and you can barely touch that first rung. It's like you've got to jump, and you've got to jump high, and then you've got to hold on, and then you've got to try and pull yourself up onto that rung. And then there's another one up there that you're also trying to get up to. That's what an all or nothing mentality looks like. It's hard to go all in. It's hard to change every single habit in one moment when it comes to your health. And yes, you may want to change a lot of habits, especially if you're looking at lowering your risk of getting healthy, or lowering your risk of getting breast cancer or getting sick again, right? There's this overwhelming amount of things that we know that we want to or ought to be doing. It's important that we're not looking at all or nothing. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. It's not going to get you the end result that you're looking for. Very few of us are able, myself included, are able to go all in and stay all in. It's too much. It's too much. And so if we instead imagine a ladder with small rungs, right? Small steps. And you can hop up onto a small step and then the next one and then the next one and the next one, so on and so forth. Which person gets to the goal at the top of that ladder first? The person that is making little small incremental steps, adding things on as they feel ready, as they've already established a habit and one thing, and then they start to add on and do something else. And when that feels, okay, I've got this, then we add on something else. That's the person that actually reaches the goal first, right? It's these small steps. And yes, there's mindset stuff that we have to kind of wrap our head around. That's what I'm here to do as your coach, is to help you through that, right? Feeling like, but it's not enough. A small step isn't enough. It's not going to get me there. That's an old story. That's an old story. Maybe if you're a perfectionist, right, and you've always liked to achieve the full goal and only then you get to check the box and feel like you've succeeded. That's if that's how you tend to think, then making small steps might be hard for you. Again, which is why you need a coach, somebody that's going to support you through those mindset shifts. It's what I do all day, every day, is help people with those mindset shifts that allows them to start making those small changes that increase and increase and increase. But you've got to start small, right? And so that's what I like to teach is, and this is what I invite you to try instead, is making these small steps. Now, let's say that you're looking at this ladder and you've got these small steps and you're up on that first rung and you get to celebrate, right? In my world, we celebrate a lot. Something that I did the other day in ⅠThriveiship School. I'll tell you a little story, if I may. In our ⅠThriveiship School, which is my group coaching program, we were having our Saturday morning call, and I put everybody on the spot, and I said somebody had done something, and I did a woo and a happy dance, because the way I celebrate, it's a little happy dance. It might be silly, or I've actually got a button here. You're perfect. You're perfect. That says something different every time. Let me see. You are inspiring. You're inspiring. So I have this button. It sits on my desk. I celebrate all day long these little steps. Why? Because every little step is moving forward, getting unstuck, heading in the right direction. Plus, we're also changing the thoughts in our head. We're teaching our brain to recognize when we have done something good versus, which is where most of us are, and I used to be, right, looking at what we haven't yet done. It's a big shift. I teach you that shift in ⅠThriveiship School. And so what I did in the group coaching call the other day is I went around and I invited everybody to share what their celebration was going to be, to claim it, just say, this is what I'm going to do instead. And it doesn't matter how big or how small you may think that step is. A step is a step, and we celebrate every single step, because that's how we get to the top of what we're looking to do. That is the sustainable lifestyle change that you're looking for. It's not a quick fix. It takes time, which is why my group coaching program is either 6 months or 9 or 10. Start again, Karen. 6 months or 12 months. Yes, this is live. And because it takes time to learn how to change these lifelong habits, right? But once you learn how to do that, you can't unlearn it. That's the good thing. So instead of beating yourself up for what you haven't yet done, think about how would it feel if I could just take one step and actually celebrate that and feel good about that, feel proud about it, right? Because I know what it's like to be in that place of feeling stuck. I know what it's like to feel like you're there wondering, is this all that life is going to be from now on? Right? Feeling like you've got no energy, maybe feeling like nothing's going your way or you can't do anything, and beating up on yourself and feeling like you're not even a whole person anymore, like a shell of who you used to be. I know what it's like to feel that way, as do many of our women in Thrivership School. And they reached out to me in their darkest moments and made a decision to stop trying to do all or nothing, made a decision to just take one step, one choice. And so today, as you're watching this, I want to invite you to take that one step. That one step, that one movement forward. And by the way, that can feel uncomfortable, right? Can like, ooh, I'm not sure, right? But I want to invite you to join me for my upcoming class. There's no cost to you whatsoever. Nothing, right? I am so passionate about sharing this class with you. It's about getting your energy and your life back. And as I'm recording this, we're about to head into the month of October, difficult for many breast cancer survivors, a month where you might want support. And then the holidays, right? Often some of the hardest times of the year, the most stressful times of the year, the times of the year where you might beat yourself up for wanting to withdraw versus throw yourself into a family drama situation or a party or a dinner or whatever it might be. You want to withdraw because you don't have the energy or just feel like you're not who you used to be showing up. It's the perfect time to join this class, to get this ball rolling, to start to feel like your whole self again, right? So that you can stop withdrawing and start participating in your life again. You'll also learn when you join us how to focus your energy on what you can control, so that you're not constantly waiting for that other shoe to drop, right? So you're not constantly living in fear. Because when you start to focus your energy on what you can control, guess what you start to do? If we're looking at that ladder, you start to take steps, especially when you've got a roadmap in front of you showing you exactly how to take the right steps that are going to catapult your results, right? And the other thing you're going to learn in this class, how to get your energy and life back, is how to prioritize taking better care of yourself, so that you can actually do the things that you want to do to stay healthy, instead of negative Nancy coming in and beating you up all the time for not doing them, because you've got this myth, this story that either you're all in or you're all out. And I call BS on that story. It's about the small steps. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it for my clients. And when you prioritize taking care of yourself so that you can take those small steps without feeling guilty, what actually happens is the coolest thing ever. What happens is that you end up with more energy, more joy, more sparkle to share with everybody else. which to me is the opposite of selfish, which is what we think it is if we're prioritizing taking better care of ourselves. Right? So you're going to learn all of those things in the class, how to get your energy and life back. It's a 60-minute class. I dive right in. It's full of value, including the answer to the question that you might have been asking yourself. How long before I start to feel like myself again? I answered that question for you right in the beginning of the class. So it truly is worth the time, the 60 minutes for you to show up so that you can learn how to start taking these small steps, right? So that you can start to feel like your whole self again and start to learn how to focus your energy on what you can control so that you're not constantly living in fear. I know that feeling. I know what it's like. And you don't have to stay there. I've learned how to do life differently so that I don't have to stay there. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you on this class. So wherever you're watching this video, you'll find a button or a link where you can join. How to get your energy and life back. And I truly, if you can do this before the holidays, you are going to get a jump start. Like I said, you're going to get that step up before the holidays to start getting some energy back so that you're not feeling like you're sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else have fun. And you're sitting back wondering if this is what your life is going to be from now on. Life doesn't have to feel that way. Life does not have to feel that way. You just need to know what to do and focus the energy that you do have on the right things. You'll be learning that in the class. Okay. So with that being said, right, when you click that button to join the class, it's a no cost to you class. You have nothing to lose by signing up for this class, but you've got one heck of a lot to gain, right? The thought of getting your life back. It's pretty cool. The thought of learning how to achieve those healthy goals that you're looking for. Get on track with some healthy eating. Start moving your body. Managing stress, extremely important, especially if you experienced massive stress like me prior to your diagnosis. Right? So important. Get that jump start. Get your foot up on the rung and start moving towards this goal of knowing that you're doing the things that you can to stay healthy. No matter how busy you are, no matter how exhausted you are, no matter how many people you take care of, the more people you take care of, the more you need this class. I will tell you that. But this is for you. If you are done with feeling this way. Okay, so I hope to see your name on that class schedule. There's one coming up soon, so make sure that you click on that link today and get the information and join our next class. And of course, if you show up live, you get to pick my brain, my 20 plus years of experience and education, and that's worth quite a bit. So if you can show up live, if not, you do get a replay. So I hope this has been useful today. Let me know, what was your biggest aha? Was it that I give you permission to never diet again? I'd love to know. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro, your health transformation and calmness coach at Breast Cancer BRCA2 Thriver. You can find me hanging out in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community or over on my website at karendelmaestro.com. Okay, bye for now, and I'll see you next week.